91 seats, 20 states. The mega blockbuster Lok Sabha 2019 polls kicks off on April 11th with the first phase of polling. Hello and welcome to Explained, where we are going to analyze why this particular phase is so crucial. And joining me on the show is Miranao's consulting editor, Vinay Tewari.
Thank you, Aarti. Slightly different, but a very, very important question on the menu tonight.
Absolutely. So the big question on Explained tonight is what is at stake in this first phase of polling on the 11th of April. Now, Vinay, there are some very crucial states that are going to polls in this particular round. You have 91 seats spread across 20 states, and it is going to determine the political fate of plenty of politicians.
Yes, and whenever you have a 7-phase election with 91 Lok Sabha seats means there is a lot at stake for all parties. But in the first phase, there is a lot at stake for some very important regional parties, some down south, some up in the north, but a lot at stake for a lot of parties. And that's why this phase 1 is being called so critical by us.
Right, and let's not forget that Andhra Pradesh also goes to polls in terms of its electing its assembly members as well. And the two really crucial states in this particular election are Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Now, these two states are going to polls only in one phase, so you're not going to see a long-drawn battle on the cards here. But Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are interesting for a number of reasons. First, you have this bitter rivalry between KCR and Chandrababu Naidu. Interestingly, both of them have tried to pitch themselves as a third front leader, and they've tried to build this coalition that centers around them.
That's right. And I think what's most interesting for me is that every single regional leader from Andhra, the Telugu leadership in India pretty much, fancies themselves as the kingmaker in Delhi. I mean, it's not just that they're batting for their own state. They're also batting to become a kingmaker in Delhi. And all of them believe that they have a chance at that, including Jagan Reddy, for instance. He also believes that he's got a chance to play kingmaker at the center. And of course, there's an assembly election there as well. But in the national politics, these three leaders are, every time their roles have varied, but this time, the fact that they can be kingmakers is supreme on their minds.
Now, Jagan Reddy is somebody whose stock has really risen over the past few years. He's left everyone guessing in a sense. You'd always assume that he's a natural ally of the BJP because of the acrimony between him and the Congress. But he has kept his options open a little.
He has kept his options open, and just 2 days ago, he went public by saying that I've forgiven the Congress for all that they've done to him. Having said that, I think any such comment ahead of the election is meant more to send messages. We still can't be sure whether he's keeping his options open. I think he's just a hard bargainer. Also, something about the politics of Andhra, both these states, Telangana and Andhra, the parties are likely to go with whoever is making the government at the center, because both sides want the center to help them with doles. That has been the practice in Andhra. Chandrababu Naidu successfully did that in the Vajpayee government in 1998, and this is much the same is what they are looking for as well.
And interesting, the fourth person you see on your screen there is the X Factor, Pawan Kalyan.
He's the X Factor. Pawan Kalyan, for a lot of our viewers in North, perhaps may not know, he's a superstar there. Brother of Chiranjeevi, who's had a stint in politics. He merged his Prajarajam party into Congress, but does enjoy quite a lot of popularity on the silver screen at least. Pawan Kalyan is considered as big a leader, as big an actor and as big a leader. Remember, Pawan Kalyan's importance politically is that he also belongs they're from the Kapu community, and Kapu community pretty much have about 20% vote share in the state, and that's where the X factor of Andhra comes in. How much damage will he make to the fortunes and to whose is a big question in this election.
Right, now let's just move up north a little. Uttar Pradesh, which of course all roads to Delhi go via UP. There are 8 seats that are going to go to polls, and this is a very crucial, it's largely the western dominated belt is where these seats are going to polls. There are some very crucial seats. Kairana, we'll just talk about Kairana, which is going to polls. This was the testing lab for the SP-BSP RLD alliance.
That's right.
Yeah, they're trying to emulate that now in the Lok Sabha polls.
Absolutely. So the yellow that you see on your screen is pretty much the cane caste and communal belt of Uttar Pradesh in many ways. The politics of this area are decided by sugarcane, this is by caste, and it's decided by communalism. And as you rightly said, Kairana in that sense was the lab. And the influence of Kairana and what happened in Muzaffarnagar and Meerut tends to have a spillover effect. Very interestingly, this is also the region that got most impacted by the Ram Temple movement. The UP is a very unusual state in many ways. On the left of the screen, the western UP part is very different from the way East is. And Western UP is prosperous, the farmers are rich, and also now intensely communally divided. That's not the same in the East, which is why for the BJP, this phase is extremely relevant. Remember the last time BJP did dramatically well. They swept the entire Western UP in many ways. So for them, it's a huge a lot of things at stake for them in many ways, because they are now pitted against an alliance, which is not the case last time.
Right, and there are two other seats. This is, of course, there are two ministers who are, up to face the electorate. There is VK Singh, who is contesting from Ghaziabad, and there's also Mahesh Sharma from Gautam Budh Nagar, both of them very urban NCR constituencies.
Right. So NCR has, of course, Noida and Ghaziabad in it. It also has Gurgaon, Faridabad. And NCR, in that sense, is a very pampered part of India. I mean, you have actually 4 union ministers coming only from the NCR, 2 of them from the areas where we are going to polls, Noida, which is also known as Gautam Budh Nagar, and Ghaziabad. And in that sense, the political fortune of 2 cabinet ministers are at stake. Also, VK Singh's image of a complete right wing. Remember, last time he won by the 2nd highest number of votes in India. I mean, after Modi, his vote share was actually the 2nd highest. So he enjoys a strong support base in Ghaziabad. But again, because of the coalition politics this time, he's pitted against a slightly tougher opposition this time.
Right. Let's shift focus next to Bihar. Now, Bihar is another very crucial state. Alliances have been firmed up here. Only 4 seats are going to polls in Bihar in phase 1. But the whole Nitish versus Lalu rivalry, foes turned friends, turned foes again. But the alliances at least are firmly in shape on both sides.
That's right. And in Bihar, the images on the screen are pretty much people whose political future and career is at stake in many ways. If the RJD Congress alliance does badly, Lalu and his family will have a huge setback in many ways. Lalu, remember, he's in jail, he's incarcerated. So in any case, he's looking at this to somehow come back into the reckoning. For Nitish too, who's flip-flopped many times, a bad performance here will completely marginalize him, at least in the near future. Ram Vilas Paswan, another man who can flip from here to there and has actually been part of many governments of the state center, no matter which party comes to power, is another one whose political career is at stake in case he ends up doing badly in this election.
Right, another very crucial state that's going to polls is Maharashtra. Again, there are just 7 seats that are going to polls in Maharashtra, but this is a very crucial region, the Vidarbha region that's going to polls, which is badly hit by an agrarian distress. And interestingly, Nitin Gadkari, of course, is going to be testing his fortunes in Nagpur once again.
Absolutely. Nagpur being the RSS headquarters. At least 2 constituencies here, Gondia and Gadchiroli, also Naxal dominated in some ways, and that has its role to play in that part of the state. Maharashtra is a very large state geographically. It's one of the largest states of India geographically, and also the 2nd highest number of seats come from here. So Vidarbha's performance will play a big factor in how well the 2 alliances shape up. Remember, the Congress NCP and the BJP Shiv Sena have been locked in a battle. Successive elections in many ways. I mean, the last time Shiv Sena BJP came up trumps. Whether the NCP Congress can actually arrest that slide, especially in Mr. Gadkari's home constituency, is a big question mark.
But the love-hate relationship between the BJP and the Shiv Sena continues. Whatever happens, that's something that we know will definitely, that's a given.
Absolutely.
Let's just shift focus now a little to the east. There is West Bengal, which is going to polls, just 2 seats, and also a lot of seats in the northeast. You have 2 seats in Arunachal Pradesh, 2 in Meghalaya, 1 in Mizoram, 1 in Nagaland. So a bunch of seats from the northeastern states are going to polls. But just one quick word on West Bengal. Now, you have seen this intense rivalry between the BJP and the TMC. It's almost like the CPM, which was, one of the bastions in West Bengal, has been pushed to the sidelines, and the TMC is now seeing its major force or major challenger in the BJP.
Yes, I mean, many people are billing it as the battle between Ram and Rahim in many ways, right? There are some other experts and commentators who build it as a battle between Ram and Durga, because in Bengal, the image of Durga is evoked more than the image of Ram. And a lot of people believe that that may be one reason why BJP may not play out as well. But having said that, the larger narrative from Bengal is the BJP has now completely removed left and has become the principal opposition in the state. So now the task of defeating the TMC will be BJP's and not the left anymore.
Now, you have a lot of states in the northeast that are going to polls. A lot of people are wondering, oh, it's just 1 seat, it's just 2 seats. What's the significance of this? But these are the seats that the BJP are particularly eyeing to offset any damages that it may have elsewhere in the country.
Absolutely. And I think, again, Northeast is a narrative issue. The Congress seems to have abandoned that part of the country completely. BJP has moved in systematically and seized control almost entirely. 25 seats in Northeast. And remember, in a tightly fought election, especially when you have a situation where the BJP is peaked in a few states and they will obviously lose a couple of seats, say in Gujarat or Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. This is where the incremental shoring up comes in, because if you do well in those 25 seats, even if you get say 18-20 out of it, you help arrest the slide that you may have in other states where you peaked. So for them, it's a very important part of the country where they believe they're going to do well and have assiduously stitched up alliances everywhere to see that it happens.
Well, 91 seats, and it's a high stake, high voltage first phase of polling on 11th of April. We at Mirror now encourage all our viewers to go out and cast their vote.